Hello and welcome to Friday's Masterclass edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I'm going to be attempting today's Times crossword with some trepidation, let me tell you, and let me try and show you why. There is an unofficial rating of the difficulty of a Times puzzle, and it's called the Snitch. And today's Snitch, so you can see the website that you can go to there. You can see it's sort of dark red, 163, and more than 138 is rated very hard. And if we just scroll down, so these are the puzzles for the last many months, and just look at this rating, 163. Let's see how far we have to go back before there was a puzzle that was... So the last puzzle that was this difficult was in May last year. So it's basically the hardest puzzle in a year. Which is somewhat terrifying. Now, what we could also do, let's go to the stats for today's puzzle and see. So Moan is a real solver. It's John McCabe, who probably averages something absurd like 4 minutes. Mystigris is real and probably has an average time of about 6 minutes something. Andy Fisher is real. Andy Fisher's a brilliant solver. I'm pretty sure Andy Fisher is a regular in the sort of the very last few of the Times Crossword Championship every year. 13 minutes. Let's view the top 100, see if there's any other names I recognise. Tom Stubbs I always think is a good solver. 16 minutes. I mean... yeah, so this is clearly very hard indeed. Anyway, do I have any news for you? I've got one thing I would like to do today before we kick off and we get cracking, and that is to congratulate Lee on solving his first Guardian Quick Cryptic today. Lee's been watching these masterclass videos for a year, and then today, unassisted, solved for his first cryptic crossword, which is just fantastic. So well done, Lee. Keep going. It's all downhill from now. You'll be racing through them in no time at all. And with that, let's get cracking. It's going to work. I might have a look at the quick cryptic afterwards, depending on how long this one takes me. Now, is that in the right place? Yes. Okay, one across. Foreign priest admitted by junior. Vaccinate. Oh, well, I mean, this is outrageous, but I know the answer to this. And the only reason I know the answer to this is, I don't know when, many moons ago, I learnt a word for a foreign priest, which is Abbe, A-B-B-E. And I only know one abbreviation for junior, JR. And if I put Abbe in junior, I get jabber, and it strikes me that a jabber would be somebody who vaccinates because they would stab you with a needle. So there we go. That's a great start. Right, neckcloth. Wanted. I freeze. Neckcloth. I haven't got a clue what that is. That's a terrifying clue because I don't know what the definition is there. I don't know how to read it. Could you read it as a word for neckcloth, wanting its I, so a 6-letter word for a neckcloth without an I in it? But I don't know any words beginning with A. I don't think I do anyway. So I don't know what that is. Let's try 3 now. Okay, well I haven't read much of this clue. I've read the first three words: upset, then abuse. And it strikes me that if I anagram then abuse, that would be 9 letters long. So I suspect this means Highlanders. Highlanders, and the answer is... oh, come on, Simon. I don't know. Highlanders. No, sorry. I think I will get that one, but I don't know what it is yet. Argument after a number of cars. Get bigger again. Okay, well that's fine. We can do that one. So, can we think of any short synonyms? So this is something I talk about every week. Do we know lots of short synonyms for words like argument? So one short synonym is tiff. If you have a tiff, you have an argument. There's a shorter one though. If you have a row, you have an argument. And here it's saying argument, maybe the word row then, after a number of cars. Now, bear in mind that cryptic crossword constructors are evil people. They are evil. So they want you to think of a number of cars, like a queue of cars or something. But actually, that's not what they mean. So what number do all cars have? All cars have a registration plate, and we would typically refer to that as a reg. So if I put reg, and then I put row, I create the word regrow, and that means to get bigger again. Very, very nice wording of the clue. Right, and we get a G in this one. Organ playing after the epistle is novel. I think this is going to be the name of a novel then. Organ playing. Oh, Titus Groan. Oh. I don't know. Is there an epistle called Titus? This is where my my knowledge... I was wondering about that. Isn't that the name of a novel? And now I'm not even sure that's true. Because I can see that's an anagram of organ. After the epistle. Epistle is a letter. I don't know. The U in that one is justifiable with the anagram, isn't it? Although I still can't see what that is. Highlanders. I'm not at all sure about that. That is very speculative, and that's the sort of answer that I've written in. And obviously, when you're doing crosswords on your own without people watching, you can do things like that without fear, without fear of being castigated. I fear I may be castigated for that one, probably justifiably. Let's have a look at 11 across. Cooperate with others in summons to table. Cooperate with others in summons. What's a summons? A writ? To table. I don't know that one. This would be a good one, wouldn't it? Rated bottom of class. Feared catastrophe. I don't know. Not having any good ideas there. Right, let's try 5 across. Old writer's son, leaving the navy with little speech. Old writers. I mean, I'm thinking this might be the name of an old writer. Then son can be S, abbreviated. Leaving the navy. Ships. With little speech. Mute. Taciturn. If you have, I mean, that's ludicrous. Okay, so I was reading the clue thinking that the word was an old writer. We were looking for an 8-letter name of an old writer. But then I thought of the word taciturn, which if you've got little speech, you might be described as taciturn. You're sort of, you don't say very much. And Tacitus is a writer. And if I take S off Tacitus, and then I add that to Royal Navy, RN, I get taciturn. So I think that is taciturn. Okay, so what's this then? Rated thought. Thought the worst. That's lovely. Okay, yeah. So thought the worst. So if you rated bottom of the class, you would be thought to be the worst pupil in the class. And if you feared catastrophe, you would think the worst or thought the worst in the past tense. So I think that's good. Now, let's have a look at this. Among is the second word. Cooperate with others. Play along or something. Get along. In summons to table. I don't know. Get along I quite like. That neck, the neckcloth. Wanted eye, freeze. If you freeze, you I don't know. Okay, where should we go? Let's try 6 down. The cap on. Whipped off, perhaps, here. The cap. Oh, Titus grown. Yeah, well, the O was justified, wasn't it? So hopefully the N will be justified. The cap on. Whipped off, perhaps, here. I haven't got a clue. No idea. 7 down. Murphy, maybe. Is that a... isn't Murphy a type of potato, like tater or something? Oh, tuber. Somebody who rides on the underground in London would go on the tube, and a tuber. So why is this question mark here? Well, that's because if you look in the dictionary, it won't define a tuber as somebody who rides on the underground. But obviously, sort of in a punny way, you absolutely could describe somebody who rides the underground as somebody who's a tuber. Yeah, a tuber is a type of potato. I think tuber is potato, isn't it? So Murphy maybe, I think, is what's going on there. So 10 across. Old trousers that go round on the carousel. Old trousers that go round on the carousel. I don't know. Old bags? Oh, bags. Yeah, okay. So I think way back when, your bags were your trousers. Baggy trousers from Madness, of course, being... No, I don't think Madness has anything to do with it. But bags were trousers in the old days, and things that go round on the carousel, normally, if you're me, for a very long time, or they take a very long time at least to come out at the airport, are bags. So let's have a look at 8 down. Registrar, the doctor, probably. Sticking point, right in the behind. I'm going to put, I don't know why it's registrar. I'm just going to put it in and then have a look at it. Registrar. So, sticking point. Yeah. Is this, well, I mean, the gist of something, is that a sticking point? Because if it is, then I totally understand the clue. I mean, I would describe the gist of something as its meaning. I'm not sure I know it as meaning sticking point, but let's say it did mean sticking point. Then we would have gist plus R for right in the behind. Well, the behind is the rear. So I think that's going to be right. But there's a slight question mark for me about the meaning of gist. Force one's way to the end of American thoroughfare. Force one's way to the end of American thoroughfare. I haven't got that. I'm not sure. I keep thinking of stress, but I don't think it is that. I can't tell what that is. 15 across. A very tiny bit of excellent cheese. What a good clue. A very tiny bit of excellent cheese. I don't know. I don't know, but I really want to solve that, because I think that's just very, very well worded. And if it does turn out to have a good answer, that will be an excellent clue. A very tiny bit of excellent cheese. So again, what I'm doing in my head is I'm cycling through some of the short synonyms I know. So cheese, typically in cryptic crosswords, quite often brie, but I can't see how to make that work. Excellent can be A1. Top, obviously, so top looks quite interesting, but that would imply that we need a 5-letter word for a cheese, and the whole thing means a very tiny bit. Top. I don't know. Let's try, well, we'll try 13. Articles far removed from the armed. Oh, there's 2 froms there. Articles far removed from armed conflict. That's really strange. I'm very sceptical that clue is meant to have 2 froms in it. Articles far removed from armed conflict. Oh, I know what this is. Okay, armed conflict. Okay, so literally what we have to do here is take the word far, F-A-R, from a 7-letter word for armed conflict. And the clue is telling us that. Far, removed from, armed conflict. So can we think of a 7-letter word for armed conflict? What about warfare? That gives where and articles. If you were to say to a salesman, show me what articles you've got for sale, they'd be showing you their where. So W-A-R-E is going to be good there. Now let's try that one. Pretentious, arty is what I'm thinking. Admitting one's turning up with affected voice. Voice. I quite like arty as a sort of basis for something surrounding. I mean, admitting one's turning up. That would typically be, one's would be eyes, if you see what I mean. So it's probably got that in the middle of it, is what I'm thinking of. With affected voice. I don't know. Let's see if the Y is justified. At home, opening wine, a pipe. At home is probably in. If you're in, you're at home. And that's opening a word. Oh, clarinet. Oh, okay, that's blown my heart out of the window. So I was thinking, do I know any 6-letter words for wine ending in T? And I thought claret. And if I put in claret, I get clarinet. That's certainly a word. And then you understand the clue. Pipe, a pipe. Interesting. There is an interesting point here. This indefinite article, the A in the clue. I often talk about things that are superfluous. And is this A really necessary to define the answer? So at home opening wine, pipe, would give the same answer. So that A pipe there is to try and improve the surface of the clue. Which I don't love, but anyway, clarinet is going to be right. So what is this then? Pretentious, artful, maybe. Can I put E? Can I put SI in artful? In Aaron? No. No, I need more. I need 7 letters. Not artful then. Pretentious, 7 letters. I should know that, and I'm not getting it. Why don't we try that W one? Hospitality worker with first-rate hair. That's a good clue as well. Hospitality worker with first-rate hair. Okay, I've got this. That's a lovely clue, and it's actually not that difficult. So again, with all cryptic crossword clues, our first job really is to try and detect which side of the clue, because it's almost always the start or the end of the clue, is the definition. Now here it's not that easy, because we've got the word hospitality. Well, that could have definitions, couldn't it? You've got the word hospitality worker. That could have definitions. Or, on the other side of the clue, it's probably hair, isn't it? Because I doubt there are many English words that mean first-rate hair. So how did I get into this? Well, I was thinking about the W, and I know that W is an abbreviation for the word with. Now, I do this every week, but it bears repetition. You can't just abbreviate any word in a cryptic clue to its initial and use it in the wordplay. It has to be supported by the dictionary. So if we put W into the dictionary, now I'll have to flick through these with, there we go. There it is, listed explicitly. So if you use the word with in a clue, it is a valid abbreviation for the word W. So this with here could be this W. And once you have that thought, you're away. Because now, if this with in the clue is this W, what's first-rate hair? Well, it must account for these 7 letters. Now, first-rate, we looked at this earlier. Excellent, A1. Hair, 5-letter synonym for hair. Tress, a tress is a bit of hair, isn't it? Waitress is a hospitality worker. So it's not too difficult once you have the initial thought that sort of allows you to get into the clue. So let's try this one. Prepared to fight. Where did I put the here? Okay, well, okay. I think this is sort of an old military phrase, isn't it? If you're prepared to fight, I think you're under arms. And where did you put the deodorant? Well, you might put the deodorant under your arms, so that feels right. Now 19 across. Republican tease traps backstabber. Backstabber. I think that's one word normally. So why would it be separate? Well, the only reason I can think it would be separate is if we need to use the word back as part of the wordplay. So how about, yes, so I've got it now. So Republican can be R as an abbreviation. Then we need a 3-letter word for tease, which is going to trap that R, so it's going to include it, it's going to encase it, and then all of that needs to be sent back. So our 3-letter word for tease ends in D, if that is all correct. Can you think of any 3-letter words that end in D that mean to tease? To kid. And that gives dirk, and a dirk is a stabber. It's a dagger, I think. Maybe even a Scottish dagger. Let's have a look. A Highland dagger, pretty good. So, very nice clue. And backstabber, so if we look up backstab, is that indeed a single word? Yeah, there you go. So a little bit of knowledge there about the formation of the word backstabber was helpful to actually understand how to solve that. So this one, oh, this was the bit of cheese. A very tiny bit of excellent cheese. Oh, bobbins. I don't know. Is the whole thing a name of the cheese? A very tiny bit. It's like a morsel, a mite, an ought. That's a funny word. I mean, I don't think it's relevant. I'll just show you it though. It comes up sometimes. Ought. A fragment, especially one left from a meal. So a dialectic word. But I've seen that before for a tiny bit of something. Iota is another short synonym. So you can see I just try and build up these banks of short synonyms for things. It's very helpful. 24 down. Apply oneself in fierce contest. I think that's just a double definition. I think if you set to something, you apply yourself to it. And a set to, as a noun, is a fierce contest. So I think set to is what we're after there. Let's try this one. Engine part. The cracking choice of some Lilliputians. Oh God, Gulliver's Travels is always a very popular thing. You know, and there are aspects of Gulliver's Travels that terrify me still. Is there a race of horses in Gulliver's Travels that's impossible to spell? I think there might be. Yeah, I've come a cropper with that before. Engine part. The cracking choice of some Lilliputians. I mean, the cracking makes me want to put the word the in the middle, like that. So this would be an engine part. I don't know enough about engines to have a clue whether there's... I don't think that's right. Let's see if we can get this one. Commit to keep going forever. Ready initially for university. Commit to keep going forever. Ready initially for university. What? I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Autocrats, clear skin. Okay. I've got this one. So this is simply a case of, can you think of a 6-letter word for an autocrat? Because you're not going to get it from the second part. And I thought of the word despot, and then you can get it. Because if you de-spot, you might be clearing the skin. To get rid of acne is to de-spot. Okay, so what is this? Engine part. I don't know. Oh, is there a big end or something? I think there is. I think. Engine part. The cracking choice. The Lilliputians were the little people that Gulliver visited, weren't they? And they tied him up. And I think... didn't they then hit him? I'm not sure. So the cracking choice of some Lilliputians, maybe they went to the big end of Gulliver and they cracked that end. I'm not sure. Is the big end a part of an engine? And could it be described as the cracking choice of some Lilliputians? I am not sure at all. For some reason I think I've heard of a big end. But I'm not at all confident about big. So I think end is probably right. Let's see if we can... Oh no, I didn't like that one. Alright, let's try 17 down. Penalises wordplay. Pun, I like for. Fine spun. Yeah, there we go. If you penalise something, you fine. You impose a penalty upon it. And a pun is a piece of wordplay. And fine spun, I don't know it as a word, but I'm sure it could mean long, drawn out. So commit to keep going. Perpetrate, I was going to say. Well, if you perpetrate a crime, you commit it. That's not too bad. To keep going forever. To perpetuate. Oh, that's difficult. Right. So if you perpetuate something, you keep it going forever. But you take that word, perpetuate. Ready initially is saying the initial letter of the word ready. That is R. And we're going to swap an R in for an abbreviation for the word university, which is U. So in the word perpetuate, we cut out the U and replace it with R, and we get perpetrate, which means to commit. That is not easy. But I'm sure it's right because it works. Right, let's try that one. Book pilgrimage to return before motorway opens. This is going to be something like Jeremiah. And I don't know if that's right, but it might be. And the reason I quite like Jeremiah there is, do I know any short synonyms for pilgrimage? And I thought of Hajj. And if pilgrimage is returning, that would give us a J somewhere early on in this answer. So I might be looking for a book that begins with J. And Jeremiah seems quite reasonable there, doesn't it? So yes, it's right, because before motorway, ear, E-R-E, is a word that means before. A motorway is the M1. Crossword constructors love using M1 for the sort of diagram me, M-I. And we've got Hajj going backwards around the outsides, and Jeremiah, of course, being a book of the Bible. So pretentious, then. I mean, can I justify F here? Let's try that. Medieval work, suffered damage, lots missing. Oh, goodness me. I mean, I think this is going to be the name of a medieval work, which is a terrifying thought. Suffered damage. So I need a word for suffered damage, and I'm going to take probably the whole word lots out of that. Because the only word I can think of that I can remove lots from is flotsam, and that's not going to work. I don't know what that is at all. Let's try 21. Rough up, apprentice coming in for employment. Apprentice, I think apprentice is going to be a learner, and I think that's going to be L. The only other short synonym for apprentice that I think might come up occasionally is tyro, T-Y-R-O, although it might also be able to be spelt with an I. Let's just look at tyro. There we go, a beginner, a novice. So I think this is going to have L in it. Rough up. So it's going to mean employment, I think. And I don't know it, so let's try 22. One's driving into the sun. A lift could be the alternative. What is that talking about? One's driving into the sun. A lift could be the alternative. Other? That's a word that means an alternative. The other word that I'm thinking of is chairlift, but I don't know why I'm thinking of that. One's driving into... I have not got a Scooby-Doo what that is. So this is a terrifying corner of the grid, because I really don't know what any of the four answers are. Oh, what's this one? Oh, this is the Highlanders. Wow. Wow. Okay. So what is this letter? That's quite an interesting question. What is that? Oh, Bhutanese. It's not Bhutanese. That's ridiculous. It is. It's Bhutanese. I mean, okay, I forgive myself for not getting that instantly. I mean, when you see Highlanders, I was thinking of people from Scotland, the Highlands, but it's not. It's people from Bhutan, a quite different part of the world. Good grief, that's not easy. So what's this? I thought this was get along, cooperate with others, play along. In summons to table. I'm gonna put get along in and see if I can understand whether there's any wordplay going on. I don't think there is. A summons to table. If you table a motion, you propose it. You can only see gong around the outside there. Oh, right, et al. Et al means with others. Oh, right, okay. Summons to gosh. Okay, so in the olden days, I think that in hotels, in fact, I remember a hotel I stayed in when I was a boy, where they would ring a gong for dinner. So that was the summons to table. I like that. So, and then et al. You've probably seen that in erudite texts you've read as a list of authors. It might say and others et al. From the Latin. So, okay, so that's going to be right. And then 2 down. Oh, a neckcloth. A neckcloth wanted. I freeze. What? Hanky or something? Is that a hanky? Isn't a neckcloth? I mean, Titus groan could still be wrong. I mean, freeze. I mean, there are words I can think of that fit here. Words like aside. I think there are chemical words as well, like I want to say amide and things like that, but anime. I don't know. Okay, so this is where this is going to get really difficult, because we've looked, I think, at all the clues. And we've got stuck on all the clues. So this is great. Right. The cap on, whipped off perhaps here. What is going on there? I can think of the word canister. That would give us an S for stress. It would give us an E for thee here. Why is it that? The cap on. Whipped off perhaps here. The other thought, it's not an anagram of the cap on, is it? Could whipped off be saying anagram it? But why? I can't see an anagram there. What's this one? Force one's way to the end of American thoroughfare. What's an something like en rush, force one's way to the end of American thoroughfare. I don't know. Force one's way. One's really strange noise out there. Force one's way. Could that be one's? Could be that. Could be I. As in one, and then one has an abbreviation for way, street, to the end of American thoroughfare. So it's a really weird noise out there. So the whole, no, I don't like this, because that's going to be in suggesting this word means force, and ending in ist just doesn't look right to me. Let's go back to the cheese one then. A very tiny bit of excellent cheese. A very tiny bit. Of excellent cheese. Can you hear that noise? I don't know if that's coming through on the microphone. There's like this squealing every now and again. I don't know what that is. Golly. Gosh, this is very hard. So I've got this one in the top left, and then whole swathes of the bottom left and the top right. Pretentious. I should be able to get this one eventually, shouldn't I? Pretentious, admitting ones, turning up, with affected voice. So what's this second letter then? With an affected voice. Admitting one's turning up couldn't be just. I mean, it couldn't be this, could it? Adenoidal. That would give you an affected voice. Adenoidal. Why is that right? I like that as an answer, but I don't understand it. Pretentious. Admitting one's turning up. Oh, la-di-da. Oh my goodness. That's very clever. Wow. So la-di-da is a pretentious. So it's the whole thing. I couldn't believe that. I thought it was definitely going to be a word beginning with A that meant pretentious. I mean, I was thinking of arty, artful. But it's not. It's actually la-di-da, admitting one, all reversed. Okay. Medieval work. Ida. Suffered damage. There's a word like that, which is some sort of I want to say Norse myth book. Maybe from the medieval times. Why is it that? Well, it is that. Okay, so I thought we were going to be looking for a word, a much longer word, and take the word lots out of it. But it's not that. There's one of these in most times crosswords. It's a hidden clue. Suffered damage. If you look at the words suffered and damaged and put them together, you can see spelt out in there EDDA. So lots missing from the expression suffered damage is simply saying remove a lot of the letters, and the ones you're left with will be the answer. So Ida is going to be right there. Oh no. Okay. So chair is still one driving into the sun. A lift could be the alternative. One driving into the sun. And then, whatever that is, rough up. Apprentice coming in. So I want to put L in here for employment. That might, well, I don't think it is a C, but it might be. No, CLE at the end. Employment. Wow, rough up. Bully. If you bully somebody, you rough them up. Could it be another apprentice coming in here? Or could it be, could the whole thing mean rough up? An apprentice L comes in. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so again, I was reading the clue wrong. It's very skillful. I mean, this is going to sound big-headed, and I don't mean it to be at all. I can hardly be big-headed when I've been so poor at solving this puzzle. But obviously, I have been solving these puzzles for a long time. So I normally can tell which side of the clue is the definition. And this time I've got this totally wrong. So actually we are looking for a word that means rough up. And then apprentice, which L, that is going to be L, is coming in a phrase that means for employment. And that phrase is to use. And if we put L in that, we can get tussle or tussle, which you often do to people's hair. You rough it up. So I'm pretty certain that's right. I mean, that's very, very hard. So one's driving into the sun. A stare is an alternative to a lift. One's driving into the sun. Oh, I see. It's difficult again because driving into here, it paints a different picture. It's valid because it's literally saying put a word or a letter that means one, as in I here, into a word for the sun. Well, the sun is a star. So we do that, we get stare, and that is an alternative to a lift. So it's not that difficult once you have the right series of thoughts. Okay, so the bottom left is now done somehow. Let's go back to this one. Force one's way to the end of American thoroughfare. I keep thinking of Broadway and things like that. I have had those thoughts. I just can't see how they work. The end of American thoroughfare. See, the end of American is an N. So could this be force one's way? Force one's way to the end of American thoroughfare. Avenue, street, lane, way. And what is 6 down? Now, this is the one. I think if we get 6 down, we probably clear up the top left. The capon. I keep reading that as the capon as well, which doesn't help. The capon whipped off, perhaps, here. I've thought of an anagram. Is cenotaph an anagram? Cenotaph is an anagram, I think, of the capon. Oh, why on earth is that right? I suppose you would take your hat off at the cenotaph because it's a war memorial. So you're meant to sort of take your hat off as a sign of respect. So I think that is right. So you'd whip. So whipped off is being used again. It's sort of to indicate, oh goodness, I've got my hat on. I shouldn't have. So I'd whip my cap off. If I was before the cenotaph. Yeah, that's fair enough. It's clever. It's clever. It's not easy, but it's clever. 15 across. Okay, so top, presumably, a very tiny bit of excellent cheese. So it must be top. And then a word for cheese. And it means a very tiny bit, just the top layer, just the top, just a little soupçon, Mr. Creosote. The top cheese. Oh, why can't I get this? It's because I've been discombobulated by the rest of it. Oh, come on, Simon. Silly Simon. I keep thinking of Gouda. I don't know why I'm thinking of Gouda, because it's obviously not right. A very tiny bit, just the top crust, the very top. Gosh, I can't see it. I am going to get this in the end, even if I have to sit here for a very long time. What do we think? Cheese. A very tiny bit of excellent cheese. I don't know. Let's try that one, see if my subconscious can work on the other one. Force one's way to the end of American thoroughfare. Force. Okay. Thrust I'm going to put there. So I'm thinking there that in America, through is a word, isn't it? T-H-R-U, as to mean through. T-H-R-O-U-G-H. Yeah, if you were going to the end of an American street, you would go through the street. And in America, that might be spelled T-H-R-U, and then S-T as an abbreviation for street. I mean, that's so hard. I mean, honestly, that's I think that's... It's almost strained. That's so difficult. And the force one's way will be thrust. Wow. So we've got two left now. So we've got the piece of cheese. And we've got the neckwear. Oh dear. The neckwear's an annoying one, because I think if I could think of the word, if I knew the word for neckwear that goes in here, obviously it's a write-in then. Wanted eye freeze. Eye freeze. Neckwear wanted. What is it? A tie is a piece of neckwear. Neck cloth, anyway. It doesn't say neckwear. Neck cloth. Freeze. Abide. See, I reckon there's a lot of words that could fit there as well. Alike? No. Amide. I think amide is something. Don't know what. Some chemical thing. Neck cloth. Oh, siren now. Neck cloth wanted. Freeze could be ice. Oh, I like that. I freeze. Amice. That's a word. That is a word. I don't know what it is, but it's probably a neck cloth. As in, I freeze, I am ice. I mean, it's It's very difficult, but I think that is, I want to say it's part of a religious clothing. It's presumably worn around the neck. I think that's probably right. So I'm only left with the cheese one now. So that's okay. I have thought as well it could be a Q there, couldn't it? I don't know the word, if it is, or the phrase. I quite like the idea of this being a B. Cheese. I'm just trying to think of 5-letter cheeses I know. I know Gouda, Derby, Sage Derby. What else could cheese be? If you're playing StarCraft 2, it can be a lot of things, especially if you're Protoss. But if it's not top guard, top to cheese, or cheese could be oh, this is bad, isn't it? Because this is, I think this is obvious as well. I just don't know it. A very tiny bit. The top quart. No, I'm not putting that in. I don't think that's right. I'm going to have to guess something in the end. Otherwise the video will never end. Cheese. Oh, this is so terrible. This is so terrible. I mean, this is a very hard puzzle. I do think that's true. I think some of the wordplay has been, some of it's been very clever, but a lot of it has been, not a lot of it, occasionally it's been really, really challenging. Cheese. Gosh. I mean, I don't like that look of that. A very tiny bit. No, I don't like the look of that. VWXYZ, I don't like the look of that. The more I look at it, the more I quite... Registrar can't be wrong, can it? No, I don't... So that's the other thought. Underarms, that can't be wrong. No. A very tiny bit. The top. Maybe I've got to think about this letter a bit more seriously. I mean, could that be an I? The top choir. No, I don't. Top quart, the top query. Cheese isn't query, is it? A very tiny bit, the top. I may just not know this as an expression, which is a bit depressing. No, couldn't be, could it? And if it's not a vowel, then what on earth is it? I'm so sorry, I don't think I know it. Top sucra. Cheese. No, it's not that. No. I'm going to have one trawl through the alphabet, and then I'm going to give up. Which will be the first puzzle I've given up on in, well, probably years. P. Cheese. I don't like that either. Could be an R, couldn't it? Burrow or something. Is that a word? B-U-R-R-O. Curry? I mean, I have thought of that sort of. Or is there a word like duro as well? I don't know, don't like it. And then after that, we're looking at silly things that just don't feel right at all. So, Oh, I'm so sorry. I think this one is going to beat me. I'm going to have to take a plump at something. A very tiny bit. I hate it when I get defeated by a puzzle. I really do. A very tiny bit of excellent. The top minutiae, the top quart. Why would you don't get a quart of cheese, do you? Tiny bit. A very tiny. Oh, a bit is a word for a coin. So a very tiny bit. Maybe I'm looking for a small coin. That is an interesting thought. Like I don't know, a top penny or something. But then, if I'm trying to think of a word for a coin that could go here, maybe words like quart. I mean, a quart isn't a coin. But that is a sensible thought that I haven't had. Can I think of a 5-letter coin? Blank U, blank R, blank. Cheese. To cheese is to... I don't know. I mean, I'd probably go for that, I think, on the basis that I'm going to submit, because I think otherwise the video is just going to go, I'm sure this is wrong. Yeah. So let's use the dictionary and see what we were missing. So top, do I know the word is the question. If I know the word, I'm going to be appalled. If I don't know the word, I'll feel less what do I need? Blank U, blank R. Quark. A very tiny bit. Okay, well, I didn't know that. A top quark, apparently. And quark is a type of cheese, is it? I also didn't know that. So that's 2 pieces of total ignorance on my part. There we go. Wow. Okay, so it got me. And it's made me feel very stupid, but well, yeah, I mean, it has made me feel stupid. But we live and learn, and I didn't know that quark was a type of cheese, and I'd never heard of a top quark being a tiny piece of matter. So I was a bit kiboshed there. Does burrow mean anything? Or have I just totally made that up? It's a donkey. So I went for a top donkey. That's me. Who is the top donkey? It's me. Oh dear. And we've got so much to look up in this puzzle. Let's have a look. So let's have a quick look. We've got Abbé for the foreign priest. Here we go. Well, it is a courtesy title of a piece, not a priest, a priest. So that was a reasonable piece of solving. Tacitus and RN was not easy. Amice. Now, is that, am I right? That's some sort of religious surplice or something. Oh, yeah, now on the shoulder. A strip of fine linen, worn formerly on the head, now on the shoulders by a priest at mass. I mean, oh, it's also a furred hood. I mean, this is tricky, isn't it? It is tricky. I mean, there's so much we could look up. Bhutanese. Get along. No, that's fine. We understood that. Could have a look at Tussle, but I think everybody knows that word, don't they? Oh, although it's got many different types of spelling. To disarrange. Here it is. To tumble, to dishevel. Oh, Ida. I was going to show you that. The name of two Scandinavian books. The elder Ida. Is it Ida? Is that how you say it? Or is it Edda? I'm not sure. And the younger or prose Edda or Ida by Snorri Sturluson. Oh no, Sturluson. I mean, it's fabulous, isn't it? I mean, the amount of knowledge that you had to have to even get to the point I did, I think there is a fair amount in this puzzle. It's still no excuse. I've let myself down. I've let you all down. Ah, awful. Awful. I mean, some of the clues were difficult. Oh, Big End was right. I was going to give that more thought. I just forgot about it. Big End. In an internal combustion engine, the larger end of the connecting rod. There you go. Wow. Okay, well, I'm going to do the quick crossword now, just in it as some sort of penance. So I will race on this and try and feel less stupid. Let's have a go. Right, quick cryptic. Off we go. Let's get cracking. Comfort from very delicate fabric, velvet. No. Philosopher grinding here, mill. In morning, Naomi lively, a gas. That must be a hidden. I haven't got it though. 10 across, house style reportedly. I'm not doing very well with this either. One glib slippery of low character. Ignoble. Sensational and lurid, presumably. Yeah, lucid with a replacement letter. Manor for the house. It's homonym of manor, the other spelling. I'm somebody with upcoming round of duties as entertainer. Don't know. Offer, bid. Notice, extremely explicit, point of sale. Market? Maybe? Limitless cash. Money used in rise. I haven't got that. Cheer tag. Topic. Is a hidden. Let's try and get this one. First class regalia. Friend with Palmer is in the place, I think. Chat is going to be right there. Hush hush online factor. It's an anagram. Confidential. Let's try this one. Spider natural at swimming. Tarantula. It's a word I can never spell. I've spelled that wrong. I think it's tarantula, isn't it? Pretty sure it is. Right word of encouragement for ole. Role. Ornamental pattern, say. And part of lattice. That's another hidden. A global body union. One might represent the workers. Oh, I was trying to go to the bottom of the grid. Let's go to that one then. Grow older in attempt to produce tragedy. Aged in try, I think. Shandy. Oh, maybe not. Trademark. Legend. Ultimately, drink. What is it? Brand. Oh, brand for trademark. Not shandy. Brandy. Okay, I'm somebody with upcoming round of duties as entertainer. Impersonator. I'm person. Router. Reverse. Goodness. Ascent, presumably. Yes. I do understand that. I'll explain it afterwards. Indonesian island. Bali. Oh, Java. What's that one? Oh, this one ends in M. Figure is beginning to mention system of central control. Not sure. Because of criminal sit-in by entrance. Instigate. Oh, this is the Morning Naomi one. Lively. A gas. Must be ammonia. Yeah, okay. And then regularly claim Maoism has the means to move forward. Limos, I think. Regular letters. Comfort. Solace. Solace. Statism? Figures. Stat. There we go. Right, so that was a little bit less inept, unless I've misspelt anything. Okay, that was okay. Not too bad. So was there anything to say about that? I was going to explain. Ascent was just limitless cache is saying take the limiting letters from the word cache. So if you take the C and the H away, you just get AS, and then you need a 4-letter word for money at the end. Market I wasn't sure about. If you notice something, you do mark it, and then extremely explicit is just the extreme letters of the word explicit, and a point of sale might be a market. Yes, so there we go. Terrible. I mean, I don't know. Let me know in the comments how useful or not this whole video was, and if you did like it, please do remember to give it a tick or whatever it is, or subscribe. Try and teach the algorithm that cryptic crosswords are a thing that people want to see. I hope that they are, even if they're, even if that one in particular took me a very long time. And I've learnt about top quarks. And thank you for watching. If you're still with me by the end of this video, really do appreciate it. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.